This is a Louie Tee Network exclusive.
For those of you who don't know, I'm Louie Tee, host of the Louie Tee Network, and this is One Burning Question, a series that will take a look at all 32 teams in the National Football League and pose a question. Some teams will have micro questions where we look at the team in its current state and talk about what could potentially happen for them in this season, and some will take a macro approach where we kind of open up the lens a bit and take a step back and look at it from a wide view look and perspective and talk about where these franchises might be going in the future, not just this season, but moving forward. So I'll take a look at each and every single team, ask a burning question, answer that question, and move on to the next team. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy One Burning Question. Welcome to this In the Lab Room exclusive series, One Burning Question. I, of course, am your host, Louie Tee. Thank you for joining me on this program, talking Philadelphia Eagles. And when you're talking Eagles football, it's hard to avoid the topic of head coach Chip Kelly. And thus, that takes us straight into our One Burning Question. Is it too late for Chip Kelly to undo what he has already done in Philadelphia? Chip Kelly took one of the most potent and explosive offenses in the entire National Football League and reduced them to a pedestrian, meager offensive football team. They're not as athletic. They're not as explosive. They don't scare you offensively. When Chip Kelly first came into the league, they had Michael Vick at quarterback. They had Deshaun Jackson at wide receiver, Jeremy Maclin at wide receiver, and LaShawn Shady McCoy at running back. Arguably, two of the most explosive football players in all of the league. And I thought he had the perfect quarterback to run his system in Michael Vick. Vick gets injured, and maybe he doesn't take care of the football enough for Chip Kelly. Maybe he's not as accurate a passer as Chip likes in his offensive scheme. Whatever the case may be, he decided to go with Nicholas Foles, which was fine. He comes in, sets the league ablaze, 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and make the postseason. All is great in Philadelphia. Then, the next offseason, Chip Kelly unceremoniously releases Deshaun Jackson. Okay, fine, maybe he's not a good fit, maybe they're butting heads, whatever. Okay, it's done. Then, the next offseason, he proceeds to not only trade LaShawn Shady McCoy, but does not re-sign wide receiver Jeremy Maclin. Now, in his defense, Maclin garnered $11 million per on the free agent market in Kansas City. He was not going to be worth that amount of money in Philadelphia. And he let offensive guard Evan Mathis walk over a measly $4 to $5 million per. All in one fell swoop, he took this offense from a dynamo to a dinosaur. And this team no longer scares anyone with Sam Bradford at quarterback, Riley Cooper and Jordan Matthews and Nelson Aguilar at receiver. I'm so lukewarm on those guys right now. At running back, they went out and spent a boatload of money on Matthews and DeMarco Murray, and that hasn't worked out the way they wanted it to, and they still have Darren Sproles on the roster, and you're like, it's a big cluster, you know what, in that backfield. Now guys are complaining to ownership, and they're being demoted down the depth chart, and it's just a mess in Philadelphia. It got to the point where they were starting to have it affect their play on the field. A couple of blowout losses, giving up 45 points at home to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then doing the same on the road versus the Detroit Lions. It looked like this team was heading nowhere fast. But when all seemed lost, they go on the road, they beat a banged up Patriots football team, resurrected their season, beat the Buffalo Bills, and now find themselves staring at a potential NFC East championship. Down these last 3 games, they have to find a way to get it done. But is the damage done already in Philadelphia? Despite them having a chance to win the NFC East championship this season at 6-7 right now, has Chip Kelly done irreparable damage in Philadelphia, or can he still salvage this roster and turn this team into the chipsters? We'll see, because right now it seems on the surface that he has done way too much damage to this roster. He hasn't built this thing the correct way. They're struggling on the offensive line. They can't run the football consistently. They don't have the right players, I think, to fit his scheme. I don't think Sam Bradford fits his scheme. I don't think DeMarco Murray fits his scheme. And you have money tied up into DeMarco Murray. You say you want Sam Bradford back because you traded for him, but Sam Bradford's like, I don't know if I want to come back or not. I probably are going to have some suitors in the offseason. I think I want to see what my options are. You can't afford to franchise tag Sam Bradford, can you? Really spend $21 million on Sam Bradford? I think not. So you have to find out what you have there and if he's the right fit and if he even wants to be back. This could be a big mess in Philadelphia, and really, Chip Kelly could leave the Eagles to clean it up, because he could find a way to finagle his way out of Philadelphia. And again, Eagles would have to sign off on this, and they would have to trade him away, or they would have to fire him, which I don't know if the Eagles right now are in a position to do or not. But at the end of the day, he could end up elsewhere in this league. There are other teams that probably are a better fit for what Chip Kelly does as a head coach, like Miami, like Tennessee, where he might want to ultimately end up. And look, he started this. He would probably like to finish his mess in Philadelphia, because that's exactly what this is at this point. But an NFC East championship and a bid to the postseason might be exactly what the doctor ordered for Chip Kelly in Philadelphia moving forward. I'll read the one burning question for the Eagles. Is it too late for Chip Kelly to undo what he has already done in Philadelphia? It's never too late. Or is it? We're going to find out over the next 3 weeks and into the offseason with Chip Kelly and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll say this much. He's done a lot of damage. The question is it too late for him to fix the damage that's been done? I'm Louie Tee. That's the Philadelphia Eagles and their one burning question. See you next time.